A new Gallup poll shows who Americans think are the top federal leaders in the nation, and it might surprise you. Chief Justice John Roberts leading the pack with a 60% approval rating, followed by Fed Chair Jerome Powell at 53%, and Dr. Anthony Fauci with 52%. And the most unpopular leaders, President Biden with a 43% approval rating, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi 40%, Mitch McConnell seeing just a 34% approval rating. Joining us now is distinguished university professor at Touro College, Thane Rosenbaum. Thane, great to have you with us. This is kind of a fun one. Are you surprised by any of the results in this poll?
I am not at all. In fact, I would suspect that a number of registered Democrats voted in favor of Chief Justice Roberts. He is being perceived as a judicial moderate who's willing to negotiate and work with the other side. Remember, this summer in the Texas abortion case, he voted alongside the liberals not to enjoin the implementation of the law. More recently, in the Mississippi abortion case, he said, well, you know, is it possible that we could uphold the Mississippi law without striking down Roe v. Wade? These are positions that Democrats would very much support. He's the Chief Justice who's concerned about not the public perception that the court is engaged in partisan politics or ideological conformity, and instead that the court, you know, remains stable and only engage in incremental decision-making, not sweeping ones. And on the other side, Mitch McConnell is being perceived as someone who isn't working alongside on the other aisle. And so you can see he's being punished as a person that's coming across as overly intransigent and ideological.
Great points there, Thane. When you look at the overall results, it seems like they could have asked maybe a few more Republicans on this, but what would you draw from this entire picture of the people that were selected, what their approval ratings, and what the state of the nation's politics, what would that indicate to you?
Well, remember, midterm elections are coming up, and it's often the case that presidents' approval ratings are lower. This is a little more extreme, I think, for Joe Biden. Democrats should be very concerned. Because in this case, you've got, you know, a lot of deficiencies that Americans are sensing, and I think the midterm is going to reflect that. The botched Afghanistan withdrawal, rising crime rates, rising inflation, supply chain problems, Omicron preparedness. We didn't seem to have enough tests. And of course, the porousness of our southern border security. This no doubt has a lot to do with the very poor polling numbers of Biden. I think it's interesting, if you think about it, why would a Supreme Court Chief Justice be the most popular public official? That's not a good sign, right? He doesn't get elected, right? He's got a lifetime appointment. It doesn't make any sense. Why is he the most popular? That tells you we're a country very much not only divided, but generally unhappy.
Thane, really quickly, before we have to pivot to the panel, who would be top of your approval list, highest on your disapproval list?
Oh, God, you know, that was you said this was going to be fun and easy. Now you made it hard. You tricked me.
You can pick one if you want.
Yeah, I would say that I have been profoundly disappointed in President Biden in his leadership here. I think that this, you know, he doesn't seem to be in control. He has not in any ways restored the confidence in the American people, and more importantly, the confidence in the public's perception that there's someone in charge of the United States and that this is a nation that stands by its values and will be a protector of its friends. And I think that has definitely not come across over the last 2 years.
Thane Rosenbaum, sorry for the curveball at the end there, but you did great. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.